Today, I'm going to show you how magicians actually figure out what card you're thinking of. Now, here's the deal. There's a very basic method they use called the 4Q2 method. It's called the 4Q2 method because it stands for 4 questions for 2 cards. Essentially, the training exercise for it goes, you ask the deck 4 questions to figure out what the 2 cards are. Okay, and the way you do this in a performance is that over time you do the training exercise so much that you develop an internal deck of cards that does the exact same thing. So here's basically how it works. So we begin by spreading through the cards, having a spectator touch any 2 cards they want. So, and they have to be just right by each other. So they touch 1 card right here. So we take the 2 cards that they touch and we set them down just like this. Now we're going to ask the cards the first question. So we ask the cards first, what is the color of this first card right here? So we spell C-O-L-O. R for color, and we figure out it's a red card. Now we're going to ask the cards what's the number of this card. So we spell N-U-M-B-E-R, and we figure out it's a queen. It's a red queen. Now we ask the cards, we need to know the answer. Is it a heart or a diamond? So we spell answer, A-N-S-W-E-R, and we find out it is a diamond. So we think it's the Queen of Diamonds. And just to add an extra confirmation, just to make sure so that we don't mess anything up, we need to figure out what's the match to the Queen of Diamonds. It's the Queen of Hearts, so if we spell M-A-T-C-H, if we haven't messed things up, we should find the Queen of Hearts is the match to the Queen of Diamonds. Which means that if we guess correctly, this card should in fact be the Queen of Diamonds. But of course, now the name comes into play, because the limit is 4 questions. The deck can't do more than 4 questions. So in order to find out 2 cards, as I said 4Q2, we need to reuse the questions. And so that's where the magic comes in. So we ask what's the color of this card? We find out it's a black card. What's the number of this card? It's a 9. We know it's a black 9. We ask the deck, is it a spade or a club? What's the answer? It's a spade. It is the 9 of spades. And what's the match to the 9 of spades? The 9 of clubs. Which means that if we've done this correctly, this card should in fact be the 9 of spades. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Josiah, and in this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys one of the first tricks that I ever learned using the Stebbins stack. It's been a hot minute since I uploaded a card trick tutorial. So, this is called 4Q2. This is one of the first tricks I ever learned that utilized a stacked deck, in this case the Stebbins stack. If you're not sure why I'm making this video, I've been running the Summer Stack series on my channel that teaches a whole bunch of things to do with doing card magic with a deck that has been set up in pre-order beforehand. Okay, so if you want to check out the rest of the episodes in this series, you can click the link up here. And you know, watching the first 4 episodes that came before this 5th episode might help you to figure out how to do this trick better. So in those last episodes, I first talked about how to set up a deck in Stebbins stack very easily, what the Stebbins stack is. Then I made 2 videos talking about false cuts and false shuffles. And then I talked about a trick using, a video. I made a video that talked about deck switches so that you can have a spectator shuffle a deck of cards and then switch it in for your setup deck. In this video, we're going to take all that, we're going to compile it together so that we can learn how to do a really cool card trick. This is 4Q2. Alright, in this video I'm going to be using the Mandalorian playing cards from Theory 11. I've only used these once on the channel in a deck review that I did on them in my deck collection video. I haven't used them since, but I'm really excited to use them now. At least I haven't believed I used them since. I might be wrong about that, but I don't believe I've used these since. Anyway, let us begin learning 4Q2. So, First off, one thing you might notice about 4Q2 is that, in the end, your Stebbins stack is messed up. The way the trick works, your size Stebbins stack just ends up completely messed up at the end. You can't just put the cards back together really easily. However, there is, well, I lied there. There is an easy way that you can get the cards back into size Stebbins stack, just a quick little sequence. It's really easy to memorize that will get the cards back into size Stebbins stack. It's really easy to do, requires no like false, like fancy shuffling or anything. And it'll allow you to get the deck back into size Stebbins stack so you can reset this trick, okay? It's essentially just a size Stebbins reset for this particular trick. Now there are tricks where the size Stebbins stack will not be messed up, but this trick is so powerful. I can't say how powerful this trick is, how great reactions I've gotten with this trick. So let us begin learning it. So first off, obviously you need to set up a deck in size Stebbins stack. Again, I made a video on that, so you just need to get set up in that stacked order. Okay, then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to begin, obviously, by doing, any number of, false shuffles that you want, or false cuts or anything. By the way, I did hurt my thumb, so that's fine. But anyway, you're going to do any number of false cuts and shuffles, have the spectator shuffle the deck, and then switch the deck for the size Stebbins deck, whatever you want. Then you're going to begin by spreading the deck and having the spectator touch a card. Okay, so let's say they touch this one. I like to give them an option when I do this trick, and you can use any presentation you like again, but I like to give them options when I do this trick. I like to say, do you want this card and the card above it, or this card and the card beneath it? Whatever you do, you're going to take these two cards, and as you set them down, you're going to switch their places, okay? So you're basically going to switch their places like that, okay? I don't have any way else to explain that. You just kind of switch them like this, and you set them down kind of right up here, okay? This is where it gets important. You want to make sure that when you set them down, you separate your hands like this, okay? You're going to take the left hand packet and put it on top of the right hand. And here's why you're going to do that, okay? Because what you're going to do, after you spread the deck, you have them touch a card, you use either hand, use the cards above this top card that they selected and the cards beneath this bottom card they selected to set it down. So you swap their places like this, you set it down, you come back, you want to make sure you put these cards on the top of these cards, okay? It's very important that you do that because this is based on mathematical principle. Always works with the cards, okay? So it's very important you do that. Or you can put them back like this, keep a pinky break, and then just do like a pass, anything like that. That was a terrible example of a pass. But essentially you just need to get one packet to the top of the deck like this, the packet that was beneath the selected cards, okay? So what you're going to do from here is you're going to begin with the procedure. So you're going to begin by spelling color. So you spell C-O-L-O-R like this, putting the second card beneath the first card, third card beneath the second card. This just makes the reset procedure later less of a hassle. That's just a tip for you. So you spell C-O-L-O-R. You set this down and you turn it over. It's a red card. And of course, you want to make sure you're spelling your right card. The very right card from your point of view is the first card you're spelling. I hope this isn't too confusing. So obviously it is a red card. Then you spell number. It's important you spell number. N-U-M-B-E-R. And we know it's a 6. Again, it is in fact a 6. Then you're going to spell, brain fart. You want to spell, what's the answer? And this is the part where I would normally want to spell to. I think that would be the easiest way to do it, but that won't work. It doesn't work that way, okay? So you want to spell answer. So you spell A-N-S-W-E-R. And you know it's a diamond. It is, in fact, the 6 of diamonds. And then you add one final question. Match. M-A-T-C-H. 6 of hearts. Okay? And then you turn it over. In fact, it is a 6 of diamonds. Okay? So that's the procedure of the spelling. Okay? So from here, once you get to this position, you're going to set these cards aside, saying you can only use 4 questions. And I like to use the name of the trick for Q2. In this case, using the name of the actual trick is really helpful. And then you're just going to turn over these packets one by one. It's self-working. This is, of course, the 3 of spades. So you turn over. It's a black card. 3. Spade matches the 3 of clubs. It's the 3 of spades. So There's really not much to it. I don't have to explain a lot of sleight of hand here. It's really just self-working. Just follow the procedure, and it works every time. Alright, so let's talk about a couple of the extra notes that I might have about this. So first off, let's talk about the reset. So the reset basically goes like this. You're going to begin going left to right with your piles. So assuming you dealt them left to right like I did, okay? So you're going to take the first pile, you're going to take the bottom card, flip it over, move it to the top. And do the same with the second pile, and the third pile, and the fourth pile. And then you're going to take the fourth pile on top of the third pile, which goes on top of the second pile, which goes on top of the first pile. And that goes on top of the deck of cards. Then you're going to take this right-hand card, put it on top, and then your left-hand card and put it on top. And that should reset you in a perfect size Stebbins order position, assuming you follow the procedure just like I did it. Alright, let's talk about some presentational notes. So here's the deal. As far as presentation of this trick goes, the original way that I learned it, you would deal the 4 piles out and then you pretend like you messed up. I absolutely despise that presentation now. Okay, I despise it. I literally hate that presentation. And here's why I hate it. Because I don't think it's convincing enough. I like the idea of the magician messing up, but I think it's too blatantly obvious for you to just deal out your 4 questions and then mess up. I think it's too blatantly obvious you didn't actually mess up. I get it. It's a good presentation in the right circumstances, but I don't think it works in this situation because I think the whole, 4 piles thing, it's just too blatantly obvious. That presentation doesn't work. So instead, what I like to do, I like the idea of using the 4Q2 presentation, but I like to present it as a training exercise. I think that's kind of interesting. To present it as the idea of using a training exercise, which is, of course, complete bull crap. Okay, this is not a training exercise for magicians at all, it's just a trick. But I find that an interesting presentation to use. Another presentation you could use alternatively, if you wanted to, is that instead of presenting it as a training exercise, you could just not even do the whole 4Q2 thing. You could present it sort of as the deck can magically divine your card. You say, the deck can do really interesting things, and this is one of the interesting things it can do. And then you can go do the whole piles, and then you could do this, and you can present it as the deck can magically divine your card, okay? Or what you can actually do is you can have your spectator count out the cards and say, you actually grant the deck divine powers. I find that's also an interesting way to go. And then, of course, you can have them deal the cards like this, okay? And so what you do then for the reset, and let me fast forward to once we get into a position where we need to reset. So one thing I know about dealing the cards, when you reverse count the cards, it actually doesn't work. So when you flip over the piles, that doesn't work. That's something I just discovered, and I kind of like, well, that's kind of interesting. So what you actually want to do when you get to this position, after you reveal the first card, is you want to say, so we're going to reuse the piles again. And so what you do is you say, left-hand pile, is you want to take, first pile, second pile, third pile, fourth pile, and you flip over the next cards to reveal this card. Now we get to this reset for this version of it. So the reset for this presentation with the spectator dealing the cards themselves works like this. So what you do is you would begin by taking this first pile, you'd flip over the top card, and you'd reverse count all of the cards. Okay? The second pile, you do the same thing. Flip it over, reverse count through the cards. Flip it over, reverse count through the cards. Flip it over, reverse count through the cards. Okay, then you're going to flip the piles over, and you're going to set the fourth card on top of the fourth pile, third card on top of the third pile, second card on top of the second pile, first card on top of the first pile. Then you proceed with the regular one where you just take the fourth pile on top of the third pile, on top of the second pile, on top of the first pile, on top of the deck, right-hand card, left-hand card. And that is the alternative reset for this particular presentation. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload a video. Again, check out the rest of my summer stack series. My next video will be another card trick, which I'm pretty excited for. I'm starting to plan out some more videos in the future. Can you believe it's already July? I can't either. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.